Okay, hello again everybody, it's only me, Wushu Richard or Richard Clark. Welcome again to another episode of Truth Debate. Now, what I want to do, in this one, I want to just talk to you briefly. What I want to tell you, is I love doing these deep talks. I love talking about all the deep, philosophical, scientific, psychological, reality, versus non-reality, deep talks, I love doing that, about many different topics, all the topics that make up everything in life, and beyond. More so, like everything that makes up our reality and reality itself, and that, but the thing is, I don't always want to make the videos so long. I mean, sometimes you see many of these talks are very, very long, and I talk for an hour or so in a video, and that's good. If we're on a deep topic and I feel that there's a lot to address, the more we ramble, the more we talk, the more we focus on the subject, the more information that you're looking at and studying, the better, because the more questions arise, and that's what it's about. It's like turning the pages of a book, you just find more and more as you go. In this video though, I'm going to have a very short little simple topic, What I'm going to talk about is just basically the whole, how can I call it? The society on lockdown. I don't know, that's not the best way to call it, What I'm going to talk about is the artificial that we all have to face every day in society, where it seems, where it is for the most part, nobody's free. What do I mean by that then? First of all, do your views count? Let's put it this way, would your views on anything in life count if you were to not take into consideration other people? First of all, I've already mentioned this before, I believe. The simple thing is like this. We're not living in the caveman days, so we are living in a modern, civilized, somewhat they say, society, and so we have laws and that. But the thing is, what I'm saying is like, if you were to literally say to yourself, starting now, let's say for example, if you were to only listen to your own ideas, only listen to what matters to you, if you didn't agree with something you just said, you just didn't agree, so you just speak your mind exactly how you, and put everything else to the side, regardless, then you would have a lot of trouble, I feel, in this world to in this society, in any given culture, whatever society, you will have a lot of difficulty to survive in that society, because you have to be part of that society to survive in it. So it's very, very hard. I admire people that just listen to their heart and be who they are, and don't let that take total control of them, and they can still listen to who they are and be who they want to be, and be outside of that. So what I'm saying is, there's cultures, for example, let's say, for example, social. You hear people that, this person's not very social, and he's antisocial. For example, let's say me, I'm a very social person. What I mean is, I like to communicate with people, I like to make friends, you know what I mean? But my thinking is very different to a lot of people. I'm not putting people down. I'm not trying to say that my lifestyle or who I am is totally different to other people. And I always say that I'm an open-minded person, but I'm not trying to say that, I'm a better person than anybody else, either mental or physical. In my life, I stay to a regimen, physical exercise, training kung fu and martial arts every day. I'll be open-minded and, you know how open-minded I am, or you only know what you do from me in terms of what I share from my videos, or on the philosophy side, or the fun videos I make, the movies, and how I look at different topics in life and things. But what I'm trying to say is, okay, some people they have a different outlook on life. So many people, they go out drinking every night, go to these clubs, bars, pubs. Yeah, man, this is the life. You know, taking different kinds of drugs. Oh, I'm gonna try this, try that out. You know, basically selling themselves. You know, like dogs, going with this one the next minute, going with the next one the next minute. You know, I'm here with this, or going out with their mates. Oh yeah, you know, proving the point, just sitting there and bad mouthing other people, or just. I'm not trying to pick up the good points or the bad points or what point. I'm just trying to say people have different. To me, a lot of it seems negative and unnecessary, but just from my point of view. But there's people out there who go out there and they just live in a part of society. They just go to work every day. It's just they live in a society where it's just money, money, money. You know, and everybody says the same thing. Like when you say, in life you must have money to live. You know, you've got no money, you'll starve to death. You know, you've got to have money to live. Yeah, but when I'm saying that literally. But some other people won't be saying that. Some of these people are rich and they just squander their money. You know what I mean? Some people are poor, but because of their laziness, or some people are homeless because they choose to be. Some people are just, they take the wrong path when it's not necessary. Some people are unfortunate in life, and as soon as they do get some money, they just squander it. Now, that's that. What I'm trying to say is, though, all kinds of things in life, like freedom of speech, and then you've got no freedom of speech, and there's so many laws and rules, and you get blocked from this or that, or kicked out of your job, you know, or put behind bars for this or that. People aren't allowed to speak their mind. I see so many laws, especially going on like in America, for example. I'm not American, but I'm just trying to say, from what I see, things like, free expression, honest self-expression, freedom of speech. And it's so funny because I always remember that one, those lyrics by Eminem, okay, in one of his raps. When Eminem says, he said, "You find me offensive, I find you offensive for finding me offensive," and I think that's so funny. Because like sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me, as I said before. We teach that to kids, but then adults are just worried like someone's belief system, the wars going on in the world because like religion or whatever beliefs. Whatever's true or not in life, as I've said before, that's one thing, but people. It's like who's smarter than who, or who can shout the loudest, or it's just over. Sometimes there's no control over our people's minds, full stop anyway. And then it imposes fake, like matrix-like world, you know what I mean? On us, it's like, and there's so many laws and things like that. With some new laws, you're not allowed to fart in public, you're not allowed to breathe a certain way, you know what I mean? You're paying for oxygen one of these days, you know what I mean? And the stuff that's going on in the world anyway, like all this, artificial, whatever you call it, genetically modified foods and that. But I'm not going to go into every detail and trying to clean out the whole problems of all society right here in my simple talk video. No. So the problem with people is people themselves, I believe, in a lot of ways. And the problem with society is people. That's what makes a society. Without that, you've got no buildings, computers, internet. All you've got is dust, dirt, trees, flowers growing nicely in the blue sky, a gentle breeze blowing over them, and a twinkling stream of fresh water underneath, But it's a polluted world with shitbag people putting out garbage into the world. Please excuse my language, okay? On his speech. You see what I'm saying? Again, people are being offended by what people say, for example, or things like that. Whereas literally, back in the day, in these days, in ancient time, when people had no language, the first human being, it was just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. If I was to say to you, blah, 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 and then one day I changed it and I said, and then you get offended by it, you say, that felt kind of bad, for whatever reason, then you say, you recognise that, as a bad word. Actually, it's nothing, it's just a mouth moving, breathing. I might have said, I might have been eating some mouth-numbing berries or some shit, you know what I mean? I'm not just mucking around, but you get slapped in the face for your words. As I've said before, nobody understands anybody, just like Jock Fresco said anyway, the great legend of the Venus project. I nearly said the Venus flytrap, motherfucker. They fly not before they get in. It's like, you know what I mean? Though? It's like, he even said, nobody understands anybody anyway. They're all just trying to balance it out. Okay, I'll come to terms of understanding. As long as if you understand me, I understand you to some level. And they're just conning each other, lying to yourself every day that everything's fine and okay. And not only in spoken language and communication, like nobody can communicate with anybody because nobody understands the reasons why somebody's saying what they do. Nobody understands what someone's saying fully. And not only because of that, and let alone are in control of their own actions and words, thoughts and being. It's become a habitual thing in this artificial society we live in where things become a habit, I've got to buy the next lottery ticket, you know what I mean? Things like that. Or, your life revolved around paying bills, or, it's not. They're outside of reality. And myself, as I say, I'm not a monk like that, or a religious as such person, but I live like a monk. I live outside of society. I focus mostly, I still work in that, I live in part of society in that way, but I don't, in a way, I'm anti-social in terms of with negative people. That's what I try to be social and communicate with people, but I feel the society, so many people are brainwashed by everything that is made up in this industry, and the way things are done, that's the way things are done, and that's the way it is, and they're like, people don't do it that way, nobody does it that way, so I'm not going to, people are just so shallow-minded, and there's not enough good, like, inventors or open-minded, fresh thinkers, because people that would rather bad-mouth you, put you down, and all this ramble like I'm doing now, but I'm just saying, people that would rather speak than listen to any truth, and they don't know any truth. A lot of story. How much truth do people know about true life? People know more about the artificial world, society, than they do about the real world. You start asking them. I don't mean like the names of certain plants and things. Human beings give names to things. I mean, you might name that flower a daffodil or a bluebell. Somebody else might name that bulla 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 bulla. You've never heard that language in your life before. He might be making it up even and tricking you for a joke. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how many people even knew that flower existed? How many people, how many times do you look up to the moon in the sky? How many times in your whole life, I'm saying? How many people think about the air you breathe? I'm just thinking the basic feedback to reality. This is reality where we come from. I was watching a good documentary, and I say online, about this guy who was like living out in Alaska or whatever, surviving and hunting and things. He's bringing it back to nature now, how you have to survive and things like that. So I love the modern world. Don't get me wrong, I love it. Camera like this, computer and everything. It's just great. Civilized. We're not like cavemen back in the day, just fighting each other's tribes, killing each other, and although there are wars in the world, that's what I say, a lot of things haven't changed, like I said before, and there are still tribes and things killing each other in the world, cannibals and murderers and torturers, and terrible things in the world, and disease and conditions, I said before, and fighting and battles everywhere. What I'm trying to say is, like, back in the day we were a lot more uncivilized, but we were more in tune with nature. We knew when to go down to the stream and catch the fish, and where's best and whatever, and listen to the sound of different birds in the forest and that, and what works better, what herbs, for what wounds and things. But nowadays people just go artificial. It's like, I've got a headache, I'll take a pill, or because whoever, Obama or whoever on the TV says this is the way it's got to be and this is good for you, you just take it. You know what I mean? And people just take what they're given these days, and that's it, they fight. And while the people up top are just looking down on the society, let's say the king and the emperor looking down on everybody, and they've got people fighting amongst each other, and it's all working towards that so that they get more money, because you're underneath the system, you're like batteries for the system, just like Morpheus said to Neo in the Matrix again. So you're just working, doing their job without you even realising it. They put so many laws and things to confuse you, a lot of the time I feel, and rules, and when a lot of them are not even there as such for that, but there's always something behind, there's always something you don't see, so there's always things that, it's all in order, there's always like a reason to something. Like how clear are you about the reason you think you know, you know what I mean? No. So what I'm trying to say is you're stuck in it. If you were to, so I'm saying for me, like, I'm a very social person now, going back again, but even on a basic level, I'm not like some people going out and drinking. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't go to pubs and bars, I don't, just give me a fucking lap dance, Cole. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. You know, hold on, think of around it. No, I'm just saying, you know, I live a different lifestyle to some people, you know. I live like a monk. I just live in my own peace and quiet at home with my family, you know, and that. I try to make friends with people, but a lot of these people will say that I don't have a life, you know. I don't take drugs, whatever, and drink, so I don't fit in. And like here in China, for example, you know, it's the same thing. I see a lot of people like drinking's a big thing. They're always drinking, it's in the culture. They're like always together, they're going for a meal, they'll sit out together, friends, drink, cup up, you know, glass after glass, and a bottle after bottle, just like to show you're more of a friend, you know, and it's just like paying off, and it's all empty small talk. They're just simple. I see a lot of people, I'm just saying, for example, all over the world, I'm just saying, I've been living here for, you know, 9 years up to this day, and almost, you know, you know, it's all over the West, it's the same thing, you know, people used to who's got more money, who's this or that, and bad mouthing other people, just trying to prove you're something to everybody else, as everybody likes you. I've got more money, I've got a nice new car, I've got a big house, and it's all shit. I see a lot of unhealthy people too. There's a lot of people who just deliberately, you know, do foolish things. Some people who don't take care of their health. I hear people talking about, you know, I've got no time for exercise, working out and all this shit on there. I mean, their mothers or whatever, or they're working or whatever. Oh, you can, I find time, I'm working, I'll do it. I still do my workouts every day. Simple stuff. You don't have to go down to the gym, many don't have a lot of money. You can go for a walk, you can do some stretching at home, do some exercise, you can look up some useful information, you can be creative. There's people who just stay in this machine, like, well, they're unhappy themselves, they're in bad health, there's people that are obese, there's some people who just don't take care of their health. You know, I eat all kinds of food, I like burgers and all the rest of it, but I take care of my health. I'm pretty slim, as you know, but I balance it out somewhat, you know. I don't overdo it, but I do exercise, you know. And it's like, some people, they just don't see the logic. They're just fucking themselves up, walking to death, and then it's coming soon if you don't take care of your life, you know. And just existing for what? What's it for, you know? It's for that society and all this fake crap. So it's like they're prisoners to the system. What they've been brainwashed into, they just, like kids being brainwashed. They say they grow up with this, and there's people just being just totally brainwashed by what they're telling you is right or wrong, or what's to be done, and what's the way, and what you've got to pay, and blah blah blah. You know, that's the way society is, that's the way it goes. That's not reality. That's not life. No, that's what they think. What I'm saying is, I'm staying out there. I think my mind, I look for the true nature, the best as close as I can be. I'm not a monk, but what's natural, what are my human needs as a human being and what I feel. But what I'm trying to say is that a lot of these people, they don't care. There's some people who do the wrong thing too, some like self-harming, suicide, or fighting and arguing amongst whoever else and that, and there's shootings going on across the all kinds of laws coming in and out of play and back in play and things to go. It's just a brainwashing, messed up society. You think people, it's the same people never become educated anyway, but it's like they're not learning enough. People just constantly going on. Well, I'm not talking about going around, but I'm talking about people who are just going around with this effed up attitude, like, fuck everything, and I want it now, you know, and everybody's got to respect me, and it's me, but they never think about themselves, and it's just, they just believe, they're just walking around like a blur every day when they're walking around. You've got to admit that's totally true. Standing and looking at your phone, just pressing buttons on the phone, looking at you, oh yeah, look at this and that, I'm just skimming through and just look for, not, I've got to get one of them because so-and-so's got one. It's just like no absolute logic in their brain, no clearness. And I just feel this is really, really a bad way to be. You see some people also just let's say for example, Some people get like addicted to things and addicted to even an idea, even like negative things that self-harm, like a woman or a girl might want to be slimmer, let's say, but they'll starve themselves to the point where they're absolutely anorexic, you know what I mean? Some people become like, it's just unbelievable, the amount of trouble we give ourselves and the physical reality to ourselves, just from that mental outlook, the wrong outlook, habitual habits we've got that's developed into a habit way of thinking of seeing the world as we see it, when actually the fake, a lot of the stuff just fake from the society that's been made up. And for me, I don't give a damn. I'll try and communicate with open-minded people and people who are on a more reality, more friendly, let's say, of course, but also friendly is very important. Friendly people, but people that have an open mind. Is way of looking at it. I don't want to go down there just to be part of the crowd, you know. Go down with the guys from work, go and have a drink. Yeah, I'm one of the lads. Because when we start talking, there's no way I can act it. I'm so depressed. First of all, I don't drink anyway. I don't fuck myself up. I don't smoke, drink, or take drugs. I don't. Really, yeah. so what am I going to talk about? I don't like football. I mean, much of sports, basketball, baseball. I don't follow that. All I follow is martial arts, but I'm like a thin little guy, I look like this young little prick. You get these tough nuts who just want to prove and say, I don't know what that's about anyway. Only know M&M now, so they only know MMA nowadays. And it's like, they don't have a clue. So all the people want to do nowadays is like bad mouth people. I'm not putting everybody down because I've tried and done it. I'll give everybody a chance, but it's like a lot of people, some of the guys are nice too, but some people I come up to are like, they've just got a total different outlook. They're so simple-minded. I've got to get the next iPhone, or just like, I'm not saying putting technology down on things. They're just brainwashed by the society. They're so close-minded, and I feel like I'm speaking to an infant or speaking to some fucking animal. And that's more clear. I'm not being funny, but it's like, when you see like old people who are coming slightly into their realisation after a long wasted life, a lot of times, sadly, and they've got like, no communication. They're on a different level to the younger people. Yeah, damn right, man. And I'm like that now. I've always been like clear in my mind, seeing like what's reality. And I see these people just drinking for the sake of drinking. Yeah, getting into arguments or proving a point. Oh yeah, you know what I mean, so and so, this or that. And it's just not the way of it. So first of all, that's the basic thing, right? People like brainwashed monkeys anyway in the world. Now, if you say now, the laws and things that are going on in the world, as I've said before, you can't be free. If you want to be free, what would you do? If you were going to speak to somebody without getting into an argument, how many times can you get into a conversation with people and not have them disagree with you, first of all? I'm not saying you fight so you want people to agree with you constantly. I'm not saying that. I don't. Because what's the point in that? What I'm trying to say is, you might feel good for a couple of seconds, but what's the reality? What I'm trying to say is that you always get people that go, the only people that agree with you on this or that is usually because they don't have a fucking clue themselves. They're not clear about themselves. They're a bit shallow-minded as well. Or they're afraid and timid of you or whatever. Or they're just lying and making it up. Or they're doing it for a reason because they're stuck up to you or whatever. Or they just want something from you. Sometimes there are people that agree with you or have a similar way of thinking. But even usually, everybody's different. They've still got, most of the time people have got, you know, their own way of thinking. You'll both agree on something, that it's right or it's wrong, or this is good or in part or whatever, but that is usually for their own reasons still. You're not that person, they're not you. And nobody can really understand anybody, and they're still most of the time. So it's like, you try to communicate with people, but it's like, you people usually just paying off each other, even when it's for words, first of all. You know what I mean? You know what it's like, especially in China too, anywhere like. You'll be sitting there, and like, someone will be there. Anyway, I'm just saying, you know, you're sitting here and you'll be like, someone will be sitting over there, or you might walk over to say so, or you'll call over, hi, to somebody, and it's like straight away, you know, yeah, you're the bitch. I didn't bother to say anything to you, and then straight away they don't disrespect you. They think, yeah, every time he sees me, he says hi, and it becomes a habit. They don't even want to say hi. So even just you doing that, and you're thinking, you might, okay then, I won't say anything to you, and then they're thinking, look at that rude guy, he doesn't that. So you've got to worry about everybody else's opinion. That's like you're paranoid. I'm not saying in this video, okay, like I say, like, I'm paranoid every day, I'm thinking what other people would think. But it's like, if you're working with people, you're dealing with people, and you have to show some kind of, you face it every day, right? You want to, like your boss or whatever you're working with, you know what I'm saying? or whatever. So it's like, how the hell do you communicate with these people? And then people, you've been more nice and friendly one, and more they think you can play games with you. But then as soon as you get into that moment where it's like, the point where it's like, someone tries to fuck with you, excuse my language again, when someone tries to mess with you, they try to like take liberties or be rude to you or try and go up against yourself. If you try to stand up for yourself or say your point of view, first of all you might upset somebody with your words, or not putting aside for the minute that, of course, that means that they're offended by you again, they're too weak and they're offending themselves, even if you're not meaning to, and they see you as a bad person because of their own understanding of whatever it be, or what you just said, or you might not have such intentions anyway behind what you just said. But I'm just saying, right, that's the one thing. But another thing is that you're saying something and then the person gets angry, or someone's rude to you, let's say, straight away. And then you say, no, you shut up. You argue with them back. Or say, why should I? No. Or it could be anything, you know. Then what do you do? It's like you've got, or it could be someone taking liberties. It could even be in your job. It could be your boss or whatever. And then what you can do, who's got the higher power? They just fire you at the end of the day. They think they can bully you and punk you out unless they're afraid of you, unless you really have some use, or it's something you've got to really find ways to win, and it can be really complicated. You have to find your way out, and you're looking for another job before you know it. Or it could be you're arguing with somebody, or not. You're not trying to, but you stand up for yourself, or you say your point. The person gets more aggravated, agitated, as I said before. The person gets more angry straight away, and it becomes an argument. And before long, one person's got to give up, and that's how it finishes. Otherwise, it's going to become a fight, and that's why you see so many fights. A lot of people are going to stand up, be them right or wrong through their ignorance, and they'll just stand up and say, I'm not going to take any shit. Oh yeah, and it becomes a fight. Otherwise, you just cower down and be cowardly before and run away. And this is the problem. So this is what I'm saying, it becomes a problem. Because what is a fight? At the end of the day, when you strike somebody with a fist or whatever, you're not saying, I'll be careful, just gently, are you? You're trying to knock them out. A knockout can actually kill somebody. So eventually you're trying to damage another human being. All violence is wrong. So argument, communication, no. You can't escape fighting people in life. It's like communication's out of the question. It leads to arguments, but arguments lead to you showing that person you're not going to take any shit. He says shut up, you say no, you shut up. He gets more angry, he strikes you first. It's the same as you put your hands up. Come on, man, let's fight. He knocks you out. You don't want to show the person what you're going to do, but then you just stand there and you throw the first strike and knock the guy out. Then you've been put in prison. You see what I'm saying? So laws are going to a higher level now. The laws for assault. You might even kill someone, whatever. Sometimes, so you can't do it. So nobody is free because of our own stupidity. That's what I'm trying to say. So all it is in this world is people just talking shit, drinking this and that, bad mouthing people, money, shout out crap. In all societies, I feel too much of this, and people just brainwashed. It's so funny because I don't want to say religious people, like ones who are brainwashed. Some people are brainwashed to many ideas, but some people are religious, and it keeps them on a more better level where they're actually more calm or able to communicate better. But it's still through a belief system. For me, it's like martial arts, like I said, but it's not like I'm going through one system like martial arts. And I'm saying, okay, that's keeping me straight on the straight and narrow, as they say. No, I know what reality is, and I understand. Like, when I want to do the right thing and be a good person and look for reality, science and philosophy, you know what I mean? Morality and balance for life out. So I look for communication and understand, what's that, man? You don't know what it is, how can you find it? But I look for good communication and try to study from it and practice it with other human beings and read off what other people say. I understand all people have different ways of thinking. I never impose my thoughts on people like that, you know what I mean? And I understand people have their own ways of thinking. But it's like when someone starts speaking at you, everybody is speaking at everybody, and they're not trying to listen in terms of listening to themselves to understand what the other person says. Reflecting off that and that. The listening and the speaking is reflecting off of what, you know what I'm saying? What you're doing. So it becomes so complicated, and this is all the people at the bottom, all the workers. And when people die with their weakness, there's always more jobs out, there's always more people, more ants, there's more to work for the job. So the people up top, that's the most important thing, so the president, whoever's got to be in control. So it's like, unless all for whatever crazy beliefs or whatever it's going to be, pressure, unless like wars and civil wars break out and stuff, then you've got total carnage and world wars, and that's that, you know what I mean? Rioting, and then the army brought in. You know, that's that. It's about, basically, it's like no different. People are no different. You can't run away from nature. You can't run away from what you are, part of nature, a human being, an animal. Just like, you know, they were, what to say, you know, about the cavemen we were, you know, they were. So when you go in the forest and you see the animals, I'm not just saying on a level where they're lower, you know, intelligence than us, but I'm saying like you don't see them having all these different laws and rules and regulations in a society like we have nowadays, do you? Fill out this form and I'll give you a berry, you know, I'll give you two. But you need to send it by next week and also I need to do part two, you know, and all this. You know, it would just give me that now, you know, they just go up, climb up the tree and get it. Or the tigers fight for their food, you know. See, that's what I say. So it's no different really. You know? So if people were going around on the street robbing, you know, and the violence and the attacking and the stealing and looting and the rioting, then that wouldn't happen, would it? That's why we've got some civilisedness here in this. But it's civilised, but it's more like it's all controlled within the system of the society. That's what I'm trying to say. So nobody's in control of our mind. What we want to do is go back in tune with nature, go back to ourselves and follow the route where we come from and find that and learn where we are going on the yellow brick road, because that yellow brick road's nothing if it's not got a person walking there. You're the one taking the steps. You can decide to take the directions. If you want to ask a scarecrow, ask him. I can buy away the hours, converse them with the flowers. On my head, I'll be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching if I only had a brain. I love it. I love old time classics. Me and my nan, we love what do you call it? The Wizard of Oz. I want to watch it again. The old classic. Tough to do thing. I want to see the old Wizard of Oz again. It's a classic movie. I should have watched it at Christmas time. Man, then he gets so off topic, man. Screwed and everything. Yeah, look at the. I love it. It was really good. Yeah, really, really. Really good with it back in the day. But let's go back to Australia, you know what I mean though? This you know, so that's where it all comes from, the idea of fantasy and that. So I really admire, as I said before, people that are directors and writers for like movies and creative people like that, for films and who write stories and have fantasy worlds and you know, everybody loves watching movies for that reason, TV shows. Why? Because we want to escape to another world where that fantastic thing, amazing, unbelievable fresh things that you don't see every day because you're so bored working in the office or digging up the streets or wherever your job is, cleaning the toilet or being a waiter or waitress. It's just, you know what I mean? Or working in a train or a bus driver, whoever you may be, all these people make up the society we need to be. It's like not enough freshening time to freshen yourself up. People just brainwash, taking what they're fed, and it's like you've got no freedom. You've got no freedom of speech, let alone. Really, because, you know, when you do have freedom of speech, that gets criticised and that, you know, sometimes it's like, you can't do anything. People just fighting amongst themselves. Then you've got the crime and the other elements like gangs and all this stuff and shooting, doing crazy things. I mean, whoever came up with that, I'm not putting it down. I know a lot of people out there who feel like in America or wherever feel safe to have like a gun for self-defense. But for me, like if there was gunshots going around, the stuff I see online and so frightening and the things. If I was living in a place like that, I'd be really nervous, really afraid. I mean, how many experiences have you had? Do you own a gun? Have you ever had to fire your gun? Have you heard gunshots? Have you been shot? Have you ever seen somebody being shot? Have you shot anybody? Things like that, or a knife or a gun. That's just so terrible. When did that law come about? That you have to have a gun to defend yourself. If someone's got a gun and breaking into your house, fair enough, you can shoot the guy in the leg and defend yourself, whatever. I'm just trying to say, guns, you know, when you're getting shot in your fucking head, it's just my language, I'm trying to say that, just so awful. You know, it's just terrible, it can kill, it brings death, no violence, it doesn't solve anything really, you know what I mean? It's like martial arts. It's the same thing, right? It's like if you use a technique and you do hurt someone, it's the same. There's no justice in it. But what I'm trying to say is like things that are obviously so brutally dangerous. You know what I mean? No. They should change it. They should have changed the law to something like, you know, I reckon it's my opinion. It's my opinion, alright? It's my opinion. Am I allowed to say my opinion? Because I'm saying, like, for example, you know, if you're like just like some kind of pepper spray or some kind of spray that you can spray in someone's eyes, a deterrent, or some other kind of way. That's another topic you guys could think, anybody could think about. Any other ideas? What would be a good thing apart from instead of guns or knives or anything? What would be a good thing you could use to defend yourself? Bare-hand combat, of course, you might say, or having a dog in your house. But those are just things. I mean, you might not be the best fighter, and you're just like a group of people, or tough people. What you do is some people just have a baseball bat hand and start batting the person with a baseball bat. You crack someone's skull and go, you could shoot somebody in their body. It might not be their head with a gun and shoot them, and then they'd bleed in really badly. So anyway, or they could even a hit from a fist could. They could be internal injuries or whatever could happen. There's so much to it. Mental side, which can lead to illness, or it could be, breathing, getting passed out, different kinds of things. You see what I'm saying? The shock could do it, the worry. It could be, where does it come from? Intentional, what was intentional, what wasn't. And the words you use, as I said before, the words you use can save your life, but they can also kill you. Your own words. It's whoever's the smartest a lot of the times, and whoever's paying the judge. In the courts, I'm saying the people, and corruption and all this shit is like, and you get like, you don't know what's what. And if you was in a court and you were to stand there, for example, you were to say, well, to me, I saw it as this, or what I saw was this. Who can see through your eyes, or what to me, blah, blah, blah. And everybody else was coming up with their opinions. You might be beaten about 3-1, or you might be beaten to what evidence they call evidence, but you might be innocent, or you might be guilty, but you might be just very clever with your words. You could say, to me, blah, 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 and I see, or I thought, or I presume. And some people, the good ones, are the ones who are able to talk and back up their evidence with but how many court cases have been written off as either, guilty or innocent, whatever, and prison sentences been handed out? How many? Just through word of mouth. And you might say, well, not a lot, but I mean a lot of them have. Or a lot of evidence or this photo of a guy standing by his car this morning. This is him, he stole the car. And maybe there wasn't enough physical evidence to back up the situation. There's so many unjust claims. Never get perfection, I guess. Nobody's ever going to know everything unless you're there, unless the judge was actually there in film. And how was he feeling? Kind at that time, or slightly more angry, pissed off? So you just don't know what is reality. You've got to stick to the only reality you're ever going to know is your own reality. But you can't let yourself be less and less lost to this, losing up to this society way. You know what I'm saying? You've got to find real reality in nature. Some people do meditating. I guess in a way, meditating would be a good way if you do that. If your meditation is based around, everything's usually based on a reason, otherwise there's no reason to be doing it, right? It's like, reason gives birth to something like, you train martial arts because you want to keep healthy and fit and defend yourself. But it's like, you don't say, you breathe because you want to live. You know what I mean? No, you just do it. So I think, everything should be natural. But in this society, a lot of things, be it good or bad, is unnatural what we do because to work within this society. And especially language and your thoughts can become jumbled up over the years because you're practicing to speak a certain way other people speak, or what's okay within this culture, or accepted, or that system, or wherever you are, what's acceptable and not acceptable. And it becomes, you know what I mean? It becomes, you hear about these young children in schools, very young children, a boy kisses a girl or gives somebody a hug, and they're kicked off the basketball field or kicked out of school. It's just unbelievably ridiculous. There's so much crap going on in the world, so much shit, such as paedophiles and abuse and disgusting things going on, and any kind of sexual harassment and things going on. Fair enough, if there's a guy in the office touching up some woman's body with her, fair enough, that's not on. But I mean, sometimes we take these things too far for the subtleties and things. Back in the old days, it was more simple, and things were they would just take it off with a pinch of salt. Nowadays, you're not allowed to say certain words or certain things and certain ideas. I hear things about certain religions, that when religions are fighting against each other, some people banning or altering Christmas songs, and I'm not a Christian as such, you know what I mean? things like banning Christmas trees or whatever it's going to be Easter or certain things. This offends a certain group of people. Blah blah blah. Is it you offending somebody or someone being offended by what you said? Who knows the intentions behind what, even if they give you reason? Who knows? Nobody knows the mind of another person, even the best psychologist, I'm trying to say. So, all these people running around like fucking lemmings, all these people, all these people, if you're open-minded and thinking that an adult, as a human being, as a race, which my way are, speaking of my mind, it's not nothing to worry about, man. But it's like, running around like lemmings is like you're not healthy enough in yourself, your body and mind. And if you were to think about it, in mind and body, and sort it out and get yourself in gear, martial arts teaching you self-control, but you'll find balance and focus on nature and that, and then find out how to work nature into life. And you see like other things like different religious and cultural arts like that too. Even things like in China, like the same. Feng Shui is called Feng Shui, an art, you might know about that, look it up if you don't know, I'm not going to go into too much detail, it's like, that's like a kind of thing fixed in the way of like nature, the yin yang into your life, but to me that just seems like, it's more like a mystical thing, I don't know what's true or not in here. Some of the truths you might have, things like, let's say, don't turn your back to a door, or open door, thing like, the danger, defend yourself, but it's like, some of the morals we can take out, it's like a lot of morals in old stories and things we can take out into our life and make it into, our life, make it work for us better, really better. But it's like, really, I'm talking about, in terms of reality, that feng shui, for example, talking about the positions of things and what brings good fortune and, all this and the way things are pointed towards this and that, a mirror or a bed, a plant in the room, whatever angle it's facing, a window, a door, a picture of so putting money coins in a certain arrangement or on top of a doorway or so it means more money will come into this house and things like on the top of buildings, like you see those famous banks, World Bank where it's called in Hong Kong, where it's got like the points pointing up and where there's angles pointing down, putting others down, or saying that it's pointing to the sky, and the big massive door window, you see the bank in front of that is saying that it's, when in perspective, it's smaller, so it's as though the money's going to come directly into this house. It's just that kind of thing fucking, it doesn't seem scientific, it's very mystical. If you want to believe that, you will. There's a lot of, so it's like the beliefs of the people and the way people think affects what we do in life, regardless if you're going to hell or heaven or whatever you think. Where are you going in these days? What are you doing today and tomorrow? A lot of people say it don't even matter. There's some people like suicide bombers and blow themselves up. You know what I'm saying? Some people that give their whole life up and go to prison or give their job up or give up their family, everything. Or give up their life, commit suicide, whatever they want to do, you know what I mean? Some become addicted to the wrong things and start taking a whole different type of life, for the better or worse. There's different ways people go and different ideas in their mind, crazy things. So what I'm trying to say is, how in tune with reality are you? People need to be more in tune with reality. But if you were to be like all out, I'm just going to listen to my mind. Even if you were getting a better path, let's say, than someone, even to say, okay, well, I'm going to try and control myself and I understand myself, I don't let others bother me. But if you were to say, okay, I respect myself though, and if someone's rude to me, I'm going to stand up and say no. Straight away giving them that, So they're going to attack you first, might get angry with you, it's going to argue. If you don't give up and walk cowardly back down, everybody will see you as the wimp then. No, you say, I'm going to stand up to this guy, no, I'm not letting him bully me. Then you're risking the chance of what it's going to be. If it escalates to a fight, the guy might even be tougher than you, or whatever it might be. You might lose your job, if it's a job, your boss, you can't win a lot of time. You might have a revenge thing, so you might have other people, a whole group to deal with. The guy, it might be a real fight, you might even win. You might be a fight if you're at work or in school, you get thrown out because of that. Your family, you know what I'm trying to say, yeah? You might even, if you're going to kill the guy, or you might attack first even, as I say, you're doing the wrong thing, you're immoral anyway. But it's like, you get into all these unnecessary arguments and fights in life. Unnecessary arguments and fights and battles when you don't need to. It's like making your whole life a war, you're tiring yourself. At the end of the day, you don't want to go to prison or do anything wrong, as I say, within the laws of the system and moral. You understand? So, To make money in this world hard enough anyway. If you've got a good enough job, you can use your skills, what you like in life, to do good and be creative. Fair enough. You can make communication with others, and if you can understand, a lot of people have different ways of thinking, and a lot of people won't understand and come to you on a level term of understanding always. But if you can get some level of communication, that's enough. Respect between human beings, and that we're different, and that's the beauty of it. We can learn a lot from society and about nature and people in general and yourself through communicating with people. Hold on. With other people. Yes, hold on, sorry. You see what I'm saying? That's the most important thing, I believe. So, you need to practice real communication. Excuse me, I'm coming back, guys. I'm doing something. Just moving some shit over there. Excuse me. Just got some things I have to move over here, excuse me. Okay. Yeah, back to what I was saying then, Really finish this video. You see, it's just you've got to find a way to mix with your fellow human beings and communicate in a positive way and get good done with your life. And don't just waste your whole life working in a job if you don't like it. But you've got to pay the rent. You've got to eat. So it's like, you don't have to necessarily be a slave to the society. You can find another way. And it might take a whole lifetime, it might take a long time, a half your life to find a way out, but keep looking for new routes and what suits you best, as in your natural feelings. Forget about what other people think, blah, blah, blah. Forget that the majority, just focus on yourself. You are the number one, you're the closest to you and understands you as anybody else, than anybody else will ever be. Anyone, that's all. So focus on who you are and what you want to do in your life. And just go for it. If you're a good painter, artist, musician, whatever, go after it. Sports, what you do, physical stuff. Study. You want to learn more language, you feel you learn things, we'll do that. Use your knowledge. Go and get in communication with people that like the same things, let's say, as you, or things like that, and try to find a way, regardless of your education, background, or work experience. Look to do with what you understand and what you like, and keep doing, keep knocking on doors, and keep going as far as it will take you. Look to the horizon. That's what I say. But don't just sit in a nest, a nest of barbed wire. There's no reason to hatch from your egg. Literally. The vulture's swooping above. He's going to eat you. The boss. And you're just in there. Talking to the next egg beside you, Hey man, did you hear that sound? Yeah, I didn't hear it. No. You don't think it's your ears? But it's just, there's no communication, like eggs talking to each other. Who's the bird inside? Can you fly away? You make it beautiful, you think all kinds of philosophies. The moon and the stars, the sun, and the bright blue sky. So just focus on your energy, I'm saying. Focus on your energy and your power now while you can. But in this society, it seems you're always on lockdown. And I'm saying always, because you can't win. If you go against the system, that's what it always says. But it's like how to avoid the system and escape it the best you can without being noticed, without doing any harm to anybody or the system, or to yourself, and find a way that you can live healthily and happily and escape. Even when you're in that society and you're there, go and do something creative and say something you like and do something you like. And then there's a way out. If one day you can move out into nature, in the fields, and have your own little house and grow your own crops, that'd be another way of life. So different ways of life. You don't always have to just listen because Tom and Joe go down to the pub drinking every night, smoking. Fuck this, fuck that, and whatever's the new style, I've got to do it this way, blah blah blah. Whatever you believe is crap, you have to talk with them about bullshit, things you don't even like, just to please them, and then you lie to yourself. And then if not, you just get into an argument, you've got no friends, everybody puts you down, you feel you're alone, you feel you're a loser because everybody says you're a loser. No. People will look at this video now and think, or these videos of mine and think that I'm some little loser because I've got my way of thinking and I'm just struggling about this, I don't know what it is, and I'm some crazy little dickhead. But I don't give a damn what people say, I don't give a shit, excuse my language, I don't care. I'm really, really more happy than so many other people are. I've got worries in my life, I've got things going on, I've got a lot in the past too, but I don't care. I'm going to live my life and I'm going to make it better and better and make the most that I can of my life and do the best while I'm here, you know what I mean, yeah? So that's another truth debate. Quite a long video again, yeah, but thanks for watching, okay? Just remember to stay positive. For me, especially martial arts, and being creative in all different ways I do, my music, my videos, my writing, all that. I'm always looking for opportunities out there, okay? Come on. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you. Train on, stay safe.